What's up guys, welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. And welcome to my video guide for the Dimensions and Entropy floor number 9 or tier 9, whichever you want to call it. Now before we do start this video, like and subscribe if you haven't already. It does really help out my channel guys, and I really do appreciate all the support. Now without further ado, let's start this video. Okay guys, so we'll start this video off with the general tips and guide, because we have faced these enemy bosses like so many times already, and I don't really want to go over all their abilities because that will make this video pretty long. So we'll start off with the first tip is to use about a third of your abilities per wave. And the main reason for this is going to be a 3-wave boss fight, so every wave will be treated like a boss fight. So highly suggest, save about a third of your abilities per wave. That way you will be sure that you actually have enough abilities to break bosses at certain times when there is a need for it. Now this may sound pretty stupid for a tip, but there are times when we get too overconfident, and I would just like to remind you guys just to save and use your HP++ from time to time, especially if you're bringing someone like Aranea, who can actually do pretty well in terms of doing HP attack damage. Now the next one I have is to bring in turn sufficient characters. Now these characters are Vayne, Aranea, Ultimisia, and to a certain extent Papalymo as well. These are the characters that will take their turns without increasing the turn count. So if you have any of these characters, I highly suggest to bring them, because there is a minimum of 90 turns for this particular dimension's end, so it is pretty tight. The next one is to bring in a tank and healer. So for tanks we have Edge, Zack, Kimari, Warrior of Light, and Bosch, and for the healers we have Penelo, Ishtola, Rosa, and of course now with Selphie. Now the next tip I have for you guys is of course using those delays and paralysis to save you some turns as well. There can be some very dangerous spots here, especially in the second wave with the Ice Giant. Try not to get broken here, or try to paralyze it or delay it as much as you can, and this will save you some turns and of course save you from dying as well. Now as for the summon, I do highly suggest just bringing Shiva for this one, but you can definitely bring any other summon that you want. You just have to make sure to check the resistances, just like the Ice Giant. It will be able to actually absorb ice elements, so try not to summon using your Shiva around that time. And the worm is actually resistant to the ice element as well, so I highly suggest trying to use your Shiva summon either in the first wave if you really feel like you're threatened by the first wave, or like me, just use it on the final wave. Okay guys, now let's take a look at some general strategies wave by wave. Now wave 1 will consist of the 2 knights and the 1 giant. I highly suggest concentrate on the giant, provoke it if you do have a tank, and just party dodge really comes in handy here, because those 2 other knights, they do like AoE attacks, and if your party can actually dodge that, it's really going to be helpful. And of course if you have a Brave Battery, which I'm pretty sure you will have in this particular case, try to use those Brave Batteries around those times so you don't get broken, because it can be a little bit dicey here as well. If they can break you, they do have quite a high amount of max Brave as well. Now for wave 2, take on the Ice Giant first. Just kill it straight out. It's more dangerous than the worm. The worm, while it does HP damage, cannot really kill you until you're really low on HP, because its ability, which I believe it's called the Gravity Spin or something like that. It's it just basically changes its own Brave based on the total enemy's current HP. So even if it keeps doing that, you won't actually die from it. So The only way for it actually to kill you is going to be when you're pretty low in HP and it actually has enough brave to actually just do an HP attack. So try your best to just kill the ice giant. It's very dangerous. They can get extra turns if they break you, so I can't talk, so do not get broken. Now as for wave 3, if you have a dispeller in your party, take out the phantom first because it will cause you more trouble than the golem. If you do not have one, I'm inclined to actually suggest to kill the golem first because it has a buff that will make it resistant to like magic damage, and I do believe some physical damage resistance as well. So I highly suggest just trying to kill off the golem if you don't have some sort of dispeller in your party. Okay guys, moving on to the possible party compositions for this particular fight. This first one is what you guys are seeing here, which consists of Edge, Penelo, and Vayne with a Shiva for the summon. Edge, like I said earlier, is kind of insane for this particular fight, especially with his party dodge and of course dodge tanking as well. Now Penelo is just going to be here for heals and battery, and of course Vayne will save you some turns and he does a ton of damage as well. Now moving on to the next possible party composition includes Beatrix, Bosch, and Yuri, and Shiva for the summon. Now Beatrix has a nice defensive buff, a good brave battery as well, and she does quite a ton of damage as well. She has splash damage, which is going to be really great on those, especially on the first wave, I should say. Even the second wave and third wave, it will do quite nicely as well. Also, if you can time her Holy Knight's safeguard buff, it's gonna save you from some HP damage as well. However, if you cannot time this right, Bosch is here basically for a safe, like a fail-safe I should say. He can soak up damage for the entire party in case it is going to be an AoE like HP attack just like the worm does, or even if it's going to be the knights, you know, Bosch is there just for a quick fail-safe. Now Yuri here is kind of replaceable in this composition. If you want a more supportive character, you can definitely bring one, but Yuri's here for support and he does a nice amount of damage as well. Now as for the next team, which consists of Noctis, Rosa, and Paladin Cecil with a Shiva for the summon. Noctis's main role here is going to be damage, as a damage dealer I should say, and of course some turn manipulation there as well. He's also good for launching to save some turns. As we all know, launches increases your score, and of course it also saves you some turns because of the amount of HP damage you can deal if you time it right. Next is of course Rosa is going to be here for heals and brave batteries, and Paladin Cecil does have some offensive and defensive auras which are very nice, plus he can heal as well if for whatever reason Rosa cannot heal you at once. Now the last team I have for you guys here is courtesy of Palad. Basically he or she used Irvine, Selfie, and Balthier with this one, and Shiva for the summon. So I'm gonna leave a link down in the description below of his video for his run. I'm really amazed that someone actually used Irvine for this one. I did try to use Balthier in my first blind run, however I just didn't make the turn count with that particular run, so I'm really surprised that this was able to, you know, he or she was able to pull this off. I really wanted to use Balthier, and you know, I wanted to dispel or steal that the golem's buffs so I can just deal with the phantom first, but didn't really work out that way. But yeah, this is a pretty good run, so I'll leave down in the description below. Okay guys, so we're finally towards the end of this video, and of course I'll give you guys my final thoughts on this fight. Now, in all honesty, I found this fight a little bit more easier than the previous floor, probably because I used Vayne, of course. I did manage to get to, I think, 98 turns without using Vayne. I didn't want to really use him. I believe I use Edge, Penelo, and Balthier at that time, and I got pretty close. I still haven't 3-3'd Selfie at the time when I tried this, and I might have really gotten, you know, a good amount of turn count if I had Selfie here. With Selfie's Aura plus, of course, you know, increasing the amount of regeneration, I guess, for the EX, I think I would have made it. I might do a rerun. I do want to save Vayne for another floor, just in case, but yeah, we'll see how it goes with the next floor. But overall, apart from the turn count requirement, this fight wasn't too bad, as long as you play it a little bit safe, especially in the second wave with the Ice Giant. I do highly suggest to play a little bit safe on that particular wave. Don't try to be too offensive when it comes to that, but otherwise the other fights themselves aren't that too scary. Maybe if I rank the wave in terms of scariness, or I guess, you know, yeah, I would say scariness, it would be wave 2, wave 1, and wave 3 is sort of like a meh. The Phantom can delay you, but you know, if you're really struggling, I mean, with this run, the Golem didn't actually get to the point where it was buffing itself with those magic resist up or physical resist up buffs. So I ended up like doing half, I think, with their HP, and kind of killed off the Phantom first because I didn't see that the Golem was actually doing the buff to itself. So I just took advantage of that and just went with the Phantom first. Anyway guys, I think I'll end the video right here. Please do remember to click like and subscribe if you haven't already. I really do appreciate all the support, and of course helps with the YouTube algorithm and helps with my channel and to continue growing as well. We're pretty close to 2,000 subscribers, and maybe I'll plan something like a special video for the 2,000 subscriber as well. We'll see how it goes. I'm not really sure in terms of my plan, my time management at this point, what I can do for that, but if we do reach it, I'll try my best to do something special at least. Yeah, if I don't, well, you can burn me in the comments down in the comments below. You can burn me down there, but I will try my best, and hopefully I can manage my time a little bit better and I can do something about that. Anyway guys, make sure to follow me on Twitter and on Facebook as well, and of course leave down in the comments below which team you use for this particular fight. And yeah, this is Munchkins logging off, and I'll see you guys in the next level.